Hi everybody, it's Dandruff with your news cartridge for Monday, February 15th, 2016. American Truck Simulator has had to explain to UK gamers about a US traffic law that acts as a game mechanic. UK viewers may be surprised to learn that it's completely legal to turn right at most red lights here, as so long as you have your turn signal on, then you won't be penalized. That applies to both real life and in-game. Knack 2 has been announced, the sequel to one of the PS4's launch title that received underwhelmingly mediocre reviews, so I bet all 6 people are happy about that one. Ark Survival Evolved got an update for Xbox One over the weekend, adding split-screen multiplayer as well as a bunch of other features. You can find a list to them down below, as well as links for sources for all of today's stories. Street Fighter V will find its way to both Linux and SteamOS this spring. Data miners have found what looks like to be random boss encounters in the new Doom game. That should be interesting. Star Citizen has changed the way you purchase the game, raised the price on it, the base game that is, by $15, but will allow you to buy the single-player mode separately. And then finally, buying Dark Souls 3 on Xbox One will net you a bonus copy of Dark Souls, which you can play via backwards compatibility. A game was supposed to release today, but didn't. It got delayed. Find out which one on today's news cartridge. Today's top story is a rumor about Rocket League. Yeah, truth be told, it's kind of a slow news day, so that means that we're going to head to Speculation Town. During a podcast interview, the president of Psyonix, the developer of Rocket League, was asked if matches with more than 4 players would be added. He responded that they have tested games with more than 4 people, but it gets too crazy. The only way to support that many players is to have a bigger stadium, which I am personally all for. I'd love to see 5v5, 6v6, and even up to 8v8 player matches in a huge arena. It would make the game feel more like real soccer or football, however, whatever you choose to call it. It would lead to greater teamwork among players, as you'd probably have to pass the ball up the field in order to score because it would get intercepted, or it would just lead to more chaos with up to 16 car pileups. Either way, sounds like a hoot. Next up, a little bit of sad news as the remaster for The Ship has been delayed, and this comes actually only 3 days after the game was confirmed to release today. The developer Blazing Griffin originally included a LAN option for multiplayer, and after a lot of positive feedback from the community, they have decided to delay the launch for a few weeks to implement new code that will allow for online play. I think this is a great move because it's much more convenient to play with your friends over the internet than it is to have scheduled to have everybody come over. When The Ship Remastered has a release date, then I will cover it here, probably down in the game releases at the end of the show. For the quick one today, Microsoft has decided to not release the upcoming Quantum Break through Steam. Instead, the game will only be made available through the Windows 10 store. I can't really say that this is a surprise because Microsoft really doesn't put out a lot of games on Steam with a couple of exceptions. And one of the reasons that they do so is because they stand to gain more money because they don't have to pay Valve to use their storefront. Of course, you could always add Quantum Break to your Steam dashboard and then launch it through there because many gamers do want to have all their games in one place. Finally today, coming later this month on February 23rd, is Hitman Go, an isometric puzzle game. While very different from the third-person action game that many have grown to love, it's the same approach to eliminating your target that plays out more like a board game. Not only will the game feature cross-save on PS4 and PS Vita, meaning that your save files will transfer between both versions, but the game will have cross-buy as well, meaning that you only have to buy the game once, and you own it on both PS4 and PS Vita. It should be noted that this does not apply to the PC version. If you need to wet your Hitman palette before it launches in March, then Hitman Go is a great game to pick up for the low price of $8 US. Now we're at tomorrow's game releases for PC: Nebulous, Chromagun, Flip, Dubdash, Gurgamoth, Street Fighter V, and The Devil's Sealing Stone. For PlayStation 4, Street Fighter V, The Escapist: The Walking Dead, Layers of Fear, Tron Run/R, and Mitsurugi Kamuai Hike. For Xbox One, Tron Run/R, Pixel Piracy, Mitsurugi Kamuai Hike, and Layers of Fear. For Nintendo 3DS, Project X Zone 2. Thank you very much, everybody. This has been News Cartridge. I am Dandruff. I will see you tomorrow. And what is Forrest Gump's password? One, Forrest, one!